Ah! 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 Ah!
You doing, you fucking bastard?
Ah!
Go, go, Look at him! Put in the box! Okay, leave him! Take him out! You're fucking racist, mate! It's alright, you're done. Okay. Smash the fucking Muslim, mate! How's that peaceful, you white hood?
Fuck you, Malaka!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I mean, as you see there, it's open season against white people in the UK, and they're doing pretty much nothing about it, all right? So there are some people trying to do something about it. It's just the total opposite. I mean, I watched the whole video, okay, of a reporter. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll try and find that video again, and I'll actually link his channel down below in the description if you want to watch the whole video and all that. It's about him joining the protest in London, where it was the protest against, 3 kids, okay? These are kids under 10 years old being stabbed to death. I think it's another 6 or 7 are injured, with stab wounds from a migrant's kid, okay? So what they're trying to say is the UK media is trying to paint that it's misinformation, they've been misled, they don't know the truth, blah, 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 they're far right, crazy rioters. But in reality, when they say migrant, they mean that the parents of this kid is actually migrants, and their kid went around and stabbed. And I mean, when I mean kid, I mean a teenager, okay? Stabbing 7-year-old little girls at a Taylor Swift dance lesson or something like that. Yeah, I mean, who in the right mind does that? And he went out and did a actual hate crime on these kids. And there was a protest in London, and, parents are fed up that there's a double tier system. This is what it's about. Everyone thinks it's about, stop, Muslims coming into the country or whatever it is. No, it's not. It's about there's a double tier system. So whenever you see the same attacks from the Muslim community in the UK, there's nothing done about it. The police don't care. You don't see any prosecutions. We know now because of Tommy Robinson's documentary that they are corrupt. They take payments from the rich. They take payments from these, rich organizations who have gangs, etc. Like a mafia, really, over in the UK, Muslim mafias and, very rich people who are paying them off. And it's sad. It's sad that the UK is that corrupt and lost, even though we know that in London, there are only 37% people who are actually from English heritage. Imagine that. Right? So who's the real minority? The real minority is actual English heritage people. And that's why you see now what is happening. And I believe there's only about 6% of the UK is Muslim. So I'll play a correction on that. So it's about 8.6% is now Muslim in the UK. And this is, look how much power they have already. Most people, everyone you've seen in that whole rally in London to protest against the police for a double tier system, because the normal English people, they don't get the same treatment. Either if you're black, if you're Indian or whatever, they don't get the same treatment as the Muslim counterparts. Now, this is obviously the reason why, is because you even seen the guy in Manchester at the airport, the police officer who kicked the guy on the ground. He was straight away suspended just because there was a call from the Muslim community, even though that guy attacked police officers and everything as well. So think of it what you will, but all I'm saying is that's the main reason for the protest. And I watched that video and they were just randomly arresting people at the end. They were just randomly arresting old women, old men, 70-year-old men, and even the reporter got arrested himself for no reason. There's literally no reason. I watched the whole video. I watched everything leading up to it, and there was no reason for these people to get arrested. They were not hitting the police. They were getting surrounded by the police, so they couldn't actually leave the protest. So a lot of them were saying, we want to go home, and they say, you can't. And then they're just arresting them one by one. I just want to point this out because, first of all, I hate the freaking mainstream media. I don't know about you. Like the video if you hate the mainstream media, because they just throw it their own way. They go, oh, there was far right, group mob attacking police officers, being arrested. I literally watched these articles the next day because on that guy's channel, he says, watch the articles tomorrow. They all painted that, they were far rightists, they were violent, blah, 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 blah. A lot of arrests were made. And that's the reason why. Those arrests were made because police were just picking and choosing people who are not actually doing anything. And that's why they can say, look, there were 100 arrests made, blah, blah, blah. Look how violent they are. And now what I'm going to show you is in reply to this. All right. So this is in reply to that march that they did in London. People saying they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe going to work. Women saying, I don't feel safe going to work. I don't feel safe that my daughters are out there because they're being preyed upon. There's literally gangs that have been found in a few cities around the UK who are actually grooming gangs and actually groom them to grape them. This has been found. And a lot of them are not being prosecuted. And you wonder why, yet again. I mean, there were so many cases where there's hush money being paid and they can't talk about it because obviously non-disclosures. So, I mean, like the video if you like it, subscribe as well. I mean, if this gets quite a few traction, we're going to keep following these stories and we'll try and shed a light on it wherever we are around the world. We want people to see this because this is just corruption. This is racism at the highest level. This is politicians bending the knee and not helping their own constituents, right? Bending the knee to the mob. This is what's happening. Whenever you bend the knee to the mob, it never ends well. We know that. We know that by now. So subscribe if you want to watch future content. Now let's get into these, all right? So as you can see here from Ian Mol Chong, migrant gangs are reportedly entering pubs and cafes to attack Brits. Have a look. Look, another language warning on this because I don't know what they're going to scream. As we heard on that first video, the guy actually screams, you white C word. All right. So for people to say that this is not a hate crime, this has nothing to do with race, it's not racial attacks. It is. That's literally what it is. They just find white guys on the streets and they attack them. And then people think, oh, that's fine. It's all right. And when you see, I'll link that video. Hopefully I can find it for you. Watch that video of that reporter. And it just shows you that everyone says it's not about race. It's not about this. It's about the police. And now you see these gangs coming out, these Muslim gangs. And look, most Muslim people are great people. They're not like this. It's just these extremists that are doing it. Rocking up to pubs, trying to find people to fight. It's always funny. It's always so big and tough when they're in their big groups, right? Palestinian flag. Imagine you're just sitting at a pub having a beer, and then there's just gangs trying to fight you because of your race. Very sad to see. Very, very sad. Just literally trying to. And here it is. It's just a... So this guy, so what they try to say is that this is in retaliation to that protest that went on. And then they're trying to present it that they just came out in, counter-protesting to the apparent protest that's supposed to happen. And this guy, is this guy part of a protest? No, he's standing outside having a beer.
Oh, the battery!
The guy who goes up to try to fight him is now protecting him. Racist mob, that's all they are. Trying to kick in the window. Man. Now let me quickly show you this, alright? So I did a quick little Google search and just wrote racist attacks in Britain. Look what comes up. Violent far-right riots overran some UK cities. The horrifying racist attacks carried out by the far-right mobs. UK governments, a root racism that plagues it. All far right, far right, far right. Nothing about these big roving groups of Muslims attacking white people. Like I say, every time they're going to try and paint it as they want to, but people don't care about Muslim people. Like if Muslim people, the peaceful ones are there, it's just these extremists in these gangs that need to come out with weapons and attack people that are standing outside of the pub by himself. What threat is he posing, right? Language warning on this, but as you can see, this is on you, Nick, spreading misinformation. Our innocent Muslim sisters are getting acid attacked, apparently. So this is that's going around, is they're saying that Muslim women are being acid attacked.
Our fathers have come from a different country to here. We were born here. We are British, Pakistanis. We are Muslims. We will stand here. We will fight against EDL. We will fight our ground. Our innocent Muslim sisters are getting acid attacked. Mosques are getting broken. Everyone should be here. Fuck the EDL.
So if there was actually acid attacks happening against Muslim girls, then I'm pretty sure we would have heard about it. The media would be all over it. You know how the media are. They're on your side. So what are you talking about? Ridiculous. This is why I say to you right now, if you watch the mainstream media, do not. And if you do your own research. Google search every freaking thing they say. Find the non-mainstream media. Find independent media. And actually follow it, you know? Don't just blindly follow these absolute idiots. Now, this is what the UK Prime Minister came out and said. All right? I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder. So this is not about, you know, you're probably thinking, yeah, it's about, you know, these crazily group that was going around attacking white people just because they're white. No. This is actually about the group peacefully protesting in London.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
Yep, let's see what he comes out and says about this. Language warning on this one. Quite funny though, when you see the mainstream media actually going, oh, crikey, why are you coming to us? So this is in Birmingham, right?
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck India!
Right, I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to leave you there, and Becky...
show them the truth.
There and,
show the UK...
We will leave that, and I apologise once again for the language.
Why are you apologising? This is why the mainstream media, to me, is so frustrating. See how they try to paint this picture? Instead of just showing you on the ground reporting, this is what it's all about. And they cut it. Just because, oh, there's a bit of swear words. Now, this continues, all right? Islamic mob running the streets of United Kingdom. It is, yeah, they've taken over because there's no law. You not want to be someone who says, I love Britain right now, would you? It's just, you know, peaceful guys walking down the street, you know, they're not looking for trouble. No way, right? Not at all do they have weapons on them. Look at that. Weapon.
One of the far-right Telegram groups, and he saw on that a suggestion that there might be a far-right protest.
Yeah, we don't look dangerous at all. You know, we just come to peacefully counter-protest, if there's even a counter-protest going on. And look, this is actually what police are doing to people in the UK. Have a look at this. So, in Britain, you can now and will be arrested for misusing social media by leaving comments about migrants that some Karens find offensive. They won't arrest you if you're a part of a grooming gang. Good to know what their priorities are. Two-tiered policing. And this is what the British public are protesting, is that there's a two-tier system. It's nothing to do with whatever everyone else thinks. It's not like a racist thing where they're coming out and saying, we don't want this, blah, blah, blah. They just say, we want the law to be upheld equally for everyone from every religion and every background.
Okay, so
What do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the electronic communications network. I'm just
What?
127 of the Communications Act. Okay, so you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later are in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested?
going to be arrested, okay?
Right,
Take
and-
you up to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pocket?
This is where we are, everyone. This is where we are. And if you think this is not coming to where you are mistaken. The only country that is actually protected by the Constitution is America. And they're very much trying to change that every single day. So if you're in Australia, if you're in the UK, if you are in freaking New Zealand, if you are South Africa, you are not protected. Whatever you say can and will be used you in the court of law. Even though you might just say a little bit of a rude comment online somewhere, they'll find it. They'll come to your house, like this dropkick of a freaking police officer who are very happy to come and arrest and take money to arrest the normal British public. But they won't do it to the other tier, right? It's just a double tier system, corruption at its finest. They need to somehow weed this out from the inside out, because as you'll see in this video, hopefully I can find it. I'm going to try and track this down real quick. Hopefully we can find it, because it is just actually very much ridiculous to me. Let's see if I can find it. It has to be in my history somewhere. Just baffling. So Wesley Winter, I'll put the link of this in the actual...
But who?
Can I tell her she's safe? Do I have to tell her she can't trust the police? It's two-tier policing.
He's an old man. What are you doing?
What you've got coming out now is a working class man.
People are just fed up. There's nothing we can do.
There is nothing you can do. Police put barriers around them. Now that's the protest, alright? This is the protest that I'm talking about. This is what see, there's people of every single race there. Sick of it, right? Now, with this, it shows you how actually it is not violent. Like, they weren't going out and just attacking police for no reason. And this is the literal Prime Minister of the UK came out and spoke against this, which is just ridiculous to me. Because when you compare it to, the other videos I showed you, nothing has been said. It's not even reported. Like I did that search and just, you look for racist attacks in Britain and nothing pops up. But yeah, I'll pop this video in the link. Definitely watch it if you got to spare like 50 minutes. It's very much worth watching. It shows you the true reason why people are there. And you'll be able to kind of make your own mind up on that one as well. So if you have watched this long anyway, I hope you'll subscribe, hit that subscription button underneath. Follow me on Rumble, follow me on Twitter as well if you are on there. My links are just below. So if you do want to support the channel, that's a great way of doing it. Be able to keep in touch and you'll be able to see future content as well. So thank you for watching and I hope I'll see you in the next one.